Welcome back, Rimworldians. This is Chapter 22 in Harriet's survival story. Let's see how she fares on this segment. We rejoin her on the last day of September as she rearms the security corridor from the previous episode's events. During her work, Wheel successfully recruits Coyote. In honor of a financial contributor, Coyote will be renamed Crazy. Thanks for sticking around all these years, bro. Before the end of the night, the defensive entrance is widened to create a kill box. In the previous episode, the Warbeast got jammed in the narrow passage. Now, enemies will be allowed to enter all the way, and the animals will be released only when the attackers step out of the constrained space. By the following morning, Lyons is spending the first of the month, continuing the security project when another combat supplier hails from orbit. To make use of his inspiration, Exec conducts this negotiation. He sells some looted substances and purchases another assault rifle. As an official member of the colony, Crazy is armed with an SMG and proceeds with his responsibilities. Half the colony collaborates in chopping or hauling wood while Exec completes research on hospital beds. The steel reserves are somewhat low, however, thus mining will continue and smelting may be added to the docket. Mere moments later, Mackie and Adventura contract the flu. In order to get some safe medical training, Crazy is given the task of tending, since animal immunity is solid, thus his lower skill will be inconsequential, as he benefits from the experience. Additionally, he is given the plant skill trainer, increasing his level from 4 to 10. Now Pixie's dynasty has 3 reliable farmers to keep the harvests cycling. The weather drenches the jungle, and, at midnight, the residents of our expanding salon agree to move some furniture and add lighting throughout the base. By midday, the stockpiles around the orbital trade beacon are also properly reorganized. At dawn of the 3rd, the colony's numbers really start to show their advantage. In the same way that the lumber harvest was managed by multiple cutters and haulers, crop management is also powered through by Harriet's peers. Dark, recently hit by major food poisoning, blows chunks in the middle of the living room. he decidedly heads to the medical bay to recover. It's as if Randy has a personal vendetta against Dark, because not only did he lose his 2 sons and develop the worst case of food poisoning this colony has seen so far, but now his wife leads the assault of his former tribe. He manages to talk Harriet into trying to capture her. The defenders hold their fire and let Cybo attack so they can attempt to knock her out in the melee. Unfortunately, she takes one too many hits, one too many times. The second breach is repelled, and another attack from the kinship is thwarted. Dark simply cannot catch a break. First his sons, then his leadership, now his wife. There is a silver lining, however. He has, indeed, found a new home with Harriet's cohorts. They spared his life and sheltered him. They shed their own blood and took unnecessary risks just to attempt to capture on his wife. That does little to soothe his grief, but he'll survive. I hope. Harriet's consideration doesn't end there, however. As the bodies are cremated, she orders that Cybo be buried properly so that Dark can revisit her. In the process, the tombs are moved out of the crops and given a proper site. Late that night, as Lyons begins crafting the new sarcophagi, a boomalope self-tames. During the privacy of the twilight, when everyone is asleep, Dark, quietly, solemnly, carries his wife's body to her final resting place. At least now, he doesn't have to deal with such an annoying voice. On the night of the 4th, Lyons gets the breaches on the outer wall secure, during which Slag and Exec play chess and banter in the living room. Their interaction inspires Exec once again, this time sending him into a frenzy of productivity. Since he seems to prioritize research, he will now give the multi-analyzer development a quick start. Harriet exhumes and reburies Huckleberry and Teddy in the flowered cemetery. Hours later, the freezer is replenished by the rice fields and subsequently resown with heel root. And just before the transition to morning, an ambrosia patch sprouts on the northern bank. It is marked for later revisitation, and here, at the end of December the 5th, we come to the end of our chapter. It was a fairly calm one, though Dark would undoubtedly disagree. On the following segment, Harriet and her fellow survivors will focus on multi-analyzer development, mining and smelting steel, and upgrading 2 hospital beds. That is, if they survive long enough to do so. Again, I thank you for your attention. Like, sub, ring the bell. As always, I hope you are safe, healthy, and fulfilled. And I will see you on the next one. Lyons gets the breaches on the outer wall secure, during which Slag and Exec play chase and banter in the living room. Chess? What the f***? Lyons gets...